That's the Manic Street Preachers who've got tour dates lined up for all over the UK in April next year, but as of yet, no dates for Ireland. And before their 1998 hit, If You Tolerate This, you're going to be next. You were listening to Greg, who sent me this Scrabble message to tell me that he'll be back on your radio tomorrow at about 8 p.m. Well, good evening to you, and thank you for joining me on yet another one of Freedom FM's Night Cruises, your one-stop shop for the finest 90s and noughties romance, relaxing and chill tracks anywhere. And when we say anywhere, we mean anywhere on your radio dial. My name is Feargal, and as well as the music, I've got a few extracurricular activities lined up for you this evening. You see, just after midnight, I've got the Love Lyrics game all lined up and ready to go. But wait, my friends, wait, there is more. Because in this hour, I'm going to get you in on our Monday Punday game challenge. So you will need to get your pun thinking caps on, and I'll tell you more about Monday Punday in a bit. Now, if you're itching to connect with me, and sure, why wouldn't you? Then you can drop me a text or WhatsApp to 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888. More of an email person? Then you can shoot me one over to hello@freedomfm.ie. And for those of you on the socials, well, you can find me on Threads, Blue Sky and Insta under the handle Voice Actor Fergs. Right, my friends, with the house cleaning done and dusted for yet another evening, why don't we get together tonight and make some night cruise memories in 3, 2, 1. That's Tracy Chapman and her October 1998 hit Baby Can I Hold You on the Night Cruise right here on Freedom FM, where the question that faces us right now is, are you ready for this evening's Monday Punday game? Well, if you are, the good news is it's about to start. And if you're a Monday Punday newbie and are wondering what Punday is all about, let me tell you why and how you should get involved. You see, Punday is all about making puns to make us all smile. That said, though, there are some rules to this game, because in a moment, I'm going to give you a theme, and your mission is to make up a pun by blending any celebrity, band, or fictional character name with that pun to make us all smile. Confused? Don't worry. Let me tell you this week's theme, after which I'll give you some examples of my own, and that should hopefully get the ball rolling. So what is this week's theme, you may well be asking? Well, you see, this weekend I managed to fall over and bruise my arm. I know, get out the smallest violin in the world. But not only that, my daughters both caught a dose of the flu that's running around in the UK at the moment. So I thought to myself, why not have an illness or injury-themed Monday Punday game? So that is your challenge. Send me in your injury or illness-themed celebrity, band, or fictional character name puns. You know, everything from bruises to broken bones, blues to colds. And send them in to me on WhatsApp and text to 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888. And to kick things off, here are a few cringe-worthy ideas that I put together this afternoon. Starting with the Northern Ireland TV presenter, Eamon Broken Bones. It's not good enough now, is it? So how about the legend that is David Tennis Elbowy? If that didn't make you groan, my last effort is the best ogre of all time, Shreckles. Okay, I know freckles are not an injury or illness, but I just couldn't think of anything else. Now, I'm sure that you can outpun me, so why not send your illness or injury-themed celebrity, band, or fictional character name puns into me now on WhatsApp or text to 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888. From 1993, that's Miss Jackson, and that's The Way Love Goes on the Night Cruise from Freedom FM, where we are currently elbow deep in our weekly Monday Punday game, the game where I give you a theme. And this week's theme is injury and illness, and ask you to make a pun by combining any celebrity, band, or fictional character name with the theme to make a pun to make us all smile, or at least groan anyway. And as always, you've been absolutely brilliant with your contributions. So let's kick off this evening with Ben Watts from Rathfarnham. Feargal, he says, isn't this the season to be extra vigilant to avoid catching any airborne virusal crows? That's brilliant, Ben. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Jimmy Doherty, who says, Fergs, when I was a kid, I used to love watching Flu Ella Benjamin on the TV after school. Me too, Jimmy. Wasn't, what was it? Play School. Yeah, that was it. Daisy Maloney is joining us from Cork this evening, and she says, Fergal, I can hardly walk. Managed to Bruce Springsteen my ankle. Sounds painful, Daisy. Brilliant pun. Get well soon. And finally for now, Lottie Singleton says, Feargal, my favourite movie of the 90s has to be Ace Fractura, Pet Detective. That's very good, Lottie. Thank you for a brilliant pun. Now, look, if you haven't yet, send in your injury or illness-related celebrity, band or fictional character name puns for a Monday Punday game. Don't fret, because you still got time to send yours in on WhatsApp to 086 206 8888. But you'll need to be quick, because the final round is coming up right after we hear from you too. Enrique on the night cruise from Freedom FM, where we have one final round of Monday Punday to sort out. And in case you've tuned in and haven't a clue about Monday Punday, simply put, every Monday evening I give you the night cruise massive a theme, and you go and make up some silly puns by combining the theme with any celebrity, band or fictional character name. And tonight you've been sending me in your puns that are blending said celebrity, band or fictional character name with all things injury or illness. And as always, you've been absolutely brilliant with your contributions. So let's dive into this final round of puns with Eva Gibbs from Santry, who says, Feargal, am I correct in the thinking that the actress who married the Prince of Monaco years ago was our very own Grace Knee Kelly? You are correct, Eva, and what a brilliant pun. Up next, Seb Edwards is in Cork, and he says, Fergs, a few moments ago you played U2 with the vocals from Broken Bono. Oh, I love it, Seb. Thank you very much. Alice Richards, well, she's from Limerick, and she says on this WhatsApp, the best One Direction singer was and is, in my opinion, Harry Piles. Oh, Piles, they're a bit painful, aren't they, Alice? Anyway, thanks for getting in touch. And finally for this evening, Lucy O'Neill in Dundalk says, back in the 80s, the first movie I ever saw on my own was Sigourney Weaver in Aliens. Brilliant pun, Lucy. Thank you so much. So there it is, another week of Monday Pundays done and dusted. A big thank you to everyone who got in touch. And if I didn't read yours out on the radio, I do apologise, but rest assured I do read them all. And if you enjoyed Punday, well, you know what you have to do. Spread the word and join us again next Monday just after 11 p.m. when we will do it all over again.
Ladies and gentlemen,
24. Count them. 24 years old this year and still sounding fresh. That's Atomic Kitten and Whole Again. Well, good morning and welcome to Tuesday, 10th December. Just 3, count them, 3 shopping days left to my birthday. And if that wasn't enough to get you excited, how about this? Welcome to the second hour of the Night Cruise, your one-stop shop for the best of 90s and noughties romance, relax and chill tracks anywhere on the radio. And the good news is, even though we're into the second hour of the show, the best is still to come, because as well as the music, you're just in time to join in on our Love Lyrics game. Now, if you're new here, I suppose I'd better tell you how Love Lyrics works and what you could bag yourself if you decide to get involved. You see, here in front of me, I've got some lyrics from a famous 90s or noughties romance or relaxing song. I'm going to read them out to you shortly, and your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to guess the song the lyrics belong to. Get it right, and you could win yourself the mind-altering prize of a possible shout out on the radio. Get it wrong and I'll have to hold you back for detention and lines after the show. So without any further ado, let's run this week's Love Lyrics by you. Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Lonely rivers say, wait for me, I'll be coming home, wait for me. Think you know what song those love lyrics come from? And fancy a shot at winning yourself immortal fame with a name check on the radio? Then send your answers in via WhatsApp or text to 086 206 8888 and tell me what song these love lyrics come from. Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Lonely rivers say, wait for me, I'll be coming home, wait for me. And if I get any wrong answers, I'll give you some of those right after we hear from Nelly. It's the Night Cruise on Freedom FM, and lots of you have been in touch with your answers for this morning's Love Lyrics game. The game where your challenge is to tell me what song a certain set of lyrics come from. And this morning your lyrics are, lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Lonely rivers say, wait for me, I'll be coming home, wait for me. Now, loads of you have got it correct, but unfortunately some of you, the usual suspects, it has to be said, of course, haven't. So I can tell you that some of the deliberately wrong answers I've received so far include Fields of Gold by Sting, Big Girls Don't Cry by Fergie, and Rednecks, Cotton Eye Joe. Thanks to Fran and Monkstown for that one. So it's 086 206 8888 on text or WhatsApp. That's 086 206 8888 on text or WhatsApp if you're able to tell me what song these love lyrics come from. Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Lonely rivers say, wait for me, I'll be coming home, wait for me. And you still got time to get your answers in, because I'll let you know who gets the name checks after Robbie entertains us with She's the One. Dido and White Flag, good morning. You're listening to Freedom FM's Night Cruise, the best in 90s and noughties romance, relaxing and chill tracks anywhere on the radio. And you know what? I was just looking back in our big book of stuff that tells me what was happening back in the 90s and noughties, and I was specifically taking a peek at July 2010. And I can tell you that back in that hot summer, we were all in the cinema watching a movie called Inception. A small English group was put together on the X Factor, and they went on to become One Direction. The TV show Sherlock made its debut on the TV, and Bruno Mars released Just the Way You Are. This is Freedom FM's Night Cruise, and on the way after one, we'll be catching up with this morning's Essential Beats. But before that happens, I want to get back to this week's Love Lyrics game, where a short time ago, I read out these lyrics from a famous 90s or noughties or perhaps even 60s song. Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Lonely rivers say, wait for me, I'll be coming home. Wait for me. And I asked you to tell me what song the lyrics are from. Now, the good news is, loads of you got it correct. The bad news is, thanks to the strange text computer in the studio, I can only see 4 names on my screen at any one time, which means I can only say good morning and well done to Cora Lowy, who got in touch from Stony Batter, Adam Sampson, who sent his answer in from Artane, Joe Waller, who's in Cork this morning, and Alice MacDonald, who reached out to me from Rathdrum, who, along with so many of you, correctly said that this week's love lyrics come from... Before I tell you, can I ask you a favour? If you enjoyed playing Love Lyrics, well, then tell a friend and come back with that friend next Tuesday morning just after midnight, when we will do it all over again. As for this week's Love Slowed Down, well, it's the Righteous Brothers and Unchained Melody. Annie Lennox and Why on Freedom FM's Night Cruise tells me that is all the mess that I can make of your radio for this morning. Thank you for your company, both you and your messages made the show as always. Now, young Mike O'Brien, he's going to be here serving your breakfast at 8. Alan, he's going to do the Freedom Years, which is, I think, the year 2000 this year at 7. And up next, it's the Essential Beats. And I suppose that's enough about other shows, because what you really want to know is, when will I be back? Well, the good news is I'll be here in a few hours' time at 11 p.m. tonight with yet another Night Cruise. Until then, my friends, thank you for your time this time. So until next time, take care of yourselves and, of course, each other.